What's up? Welcome to the channel. This is your girl Dragon, and it's time for another Fortnite creative tutorial. In this video, we're going to be going over how to use the player reference tool. I'm going to show you so many different examples of how you can use this awesome non-player character tool, so be sure to check it out. Also, the video may be just a bit long, so if it's too long for you, don't worry. I'm going to post the code down below, that way you can just learn at your own pace. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started, and don't forget to drop that like and that sub so you don't miss that next tutorial. Alright you guys, let's go! Alright, so welcome to the tutorial. So in this island I'm going to show you how to use a player reference device, and I'm going to go through different examples showing you so many different options on what to do when you're using this tool. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Alright, so first things first, I'm going to show you how to create a store. So this is one of the most popular uses for a player reference device. You can do so many things. You can use it with buttons or other interactive devices to give your players items during gameplay. In addition to that, you can give them anything you want at a cost or free like I have here. So what I'm going to do first is show you guys my settings. That way you know how to set up your own store. Important items you're going to need when creating a store. First, you're going to need a trigger, a button, an item granter, a HUD message device, and what's optional here is a speaker. I put this here because I think it's really cool. When the player presses the button, they'll hear a little awesome sound. So you can put that there if you like. It's just really up to you. So first we're going to start with the settings for the trigger. And before I do that, let me show you, or at least explain to you, how the system is working here. So when your player comes to the NPC or the player reference device, they're going to step on the trigger, which is going to transmit a message to the HUD message device. The player is going to read the message and press the button. The button is going to transmit a message to the item granter. The item granter is then going to allow the HUD message device to display another message saying thank you, and then the speaker to play the sound, all at the same time. Once that's done, the system is complete. Now for the settings. With the trigger, this is my settings. We're going to first focus on basic options. Activating team any, activating class any, trigger sound is disabled. Again, this is personal choice. Visible in game no, again personal choice. This is important, your channels. So when triggered, transmit on channel 3. R1 over to channels only, and you'll see that I have everything set as no channel except this very last one, which is very important. When triggered, transmit on channel 3. Press square for OK. Again, this is going to be whatever you determine your channels to be. Okay? Alright, next up, let's do the button. Now the button, let's see here. Starting with basic options, you want your interact time to be whatever you like. You can do instant, and what that means is whenever they press the button, something's going to happen instantaneously. There'll be no delay. I have it set for 2 seconds because I want just a little bit of delay there. Activating team any, again this is your choice depending on how you're setting up your island. Trigger sound is enabled for this one, but you can set it to disabled if you like. Whatever interaction text you can enter here, I have get your free slips. And then of course, very last important, when interacted with, transmit on channel 2. We're going to go to channels only, and I have enable when receiving from channel 2, disable when receiving from no channel, when interacted with, transmit on channel 2. Press square for OK. Next up, we're going to look at the item granter. Starting with basic options, this is important as well. Receiving players. Who do you want to receive the item? I have it triggering players only, and that is because I'm using a device in order to grant this item. So look at all your options here though. You can actually have someone press the button and it'll grant this item to all players. Or you can do it by teams. So there's a lot of choices here. Again, it's personal choice, but for this tutorial, we're gonna just select that. On grant action, clear inventory. I feel that's the best for this tutorial, but these are your options. You can choose to clear the items, you can clear the resources, or keep everything. When granting an item, you have an option to select the current item or all items. So let's say you're doing a full loadout. You have everything from consumables to weapons, then you can select this, it will be best for you. But just like I have here, just one item, you're going to just do current item if you have one item just like I do. Next is give extra ammo. I have it set to no, but if you have weapons, you might want to be generous and do that. It's up to you. And then lastly, grant item when receiving from channel 2. Alright, we're going to go to channels and just take a look at that. Again, this is pretty simple. You don't enable when receiving from channel 2. And again, grant item when receiving from channel 2. Press square for OK. And next we're going to set up the HUD device. Now this is the device that's going to select or display the very first message we see when a player steps up to the NPC. So I have a message here, welcome to Crazy Slurps, get your free slurps now. You can put whatever you like, make sure it's pretty cool. Alright, and then next up we have message recipient. So again, this has to coincide with what you have going on here, because you can actually send the message to everyone in the entire island or just the players that are triggering it, and that's what I want. I just want to send it to the triggering players, so that's what we're doing. But you can just take a look through all your options. You do have they have friendlies, enemies, all, and then they can do you can choose by team there, so just pick what you like. Time from round start off, show when receiving from channel 3, and hide when receiving from no channel. Alright, let's go take a look at the channels. Again, this is the most important one, show when receiving from channel 3, and press square for OK. Next up, I'm going to show you how to set up a thank you message. So let's see, we have our message, thank you, come again. This is exactly the same as the first. Time from round start off, but this is different, show when receiving from channel 2. So why do we want to do channel 2? Because this is the channel where the item is granted, and when the button is pushed, the message is sent through. So this button is granting this item in which you want the screen to display thank you all at the same time. And just real quickly, checking out all the channels again, see how this is the most important, show when receiving from channel 2. Go ahead and press square for OK. Alright, so let's check out the speaker. So I have audio selection reward 1, volume low, activate on hit no, and activate when receiving from channel 2. So you guys can see how that all works once we run the test. Another important thing I want to note is where the player hears the message. So you have some options here when you go to all options, and let's see, so see when you go to all options there, you can have the sound distance. Do you want it to be near, medium, far, very far, or the whole island? Make sure it's near, because you know they're really close to the booth and you just want them to hear it. I have volume on low, and then I do have restart for the behavior, because you want it to just reset itself, and so on. Here's the rest of my settings for that. Visible in game no, and we've already saw that under basic options. and activate when receiving from channel 2. Press square for OK. Lastly, we're going to look at how I have my player reference set up. Now for this booth, I have show hologram on. You can pick whatever color you like. I have sky blue. Visible in game on. Show player details off. Now this is important because if you don't select a channel to register the player, then you might not see anything. So I have it selected to channel 140 because this is we have a lot of channels going on here. So we have it set to channel 140, activate when receiving from channel 140, and the rest is set to no channel. Press square for OK. Alright, so just another quick tip here. I have my player reference tool set to 140 because when my players spawn, they transmit on 140. So that's something to keep in mind too. Like if you want your players to spawn and see the player references right away, then that's how you do that, okay? Alright, so now you know all the elements on how to create a store. We're going to check out how to make a delivery game next up. Now you know there's so many things you can do with the player reference tool. I mean, other than just creating stores, you can make actually really cool games. So let's say you can make a delivery game, and I have a little example here for you. You can create a delivery game, use it with triggers, item granters, map indicator, and conditional buttons. So let's check out the setup right now. So let's run through every device we need to create a delivery game. Alright, so first you're going to need a trigger, you're going to need a HUD Message Device, and you're going to need an item granter, and of course a player reference device. Now let's check out the settings here. We have the trigger, basic options, so activating team any, activating class any, the sound is disabled, it's not visible in the game, and we're going to be transmitting on channel 7. Next is the HUD Message Device. And you're going to put in your message under basic options. And of course, you want this to be on triggering player. Time from round start off. Again, personal choice. Show when receiving from channel 7. Hide when receiving from no channel. Next up, the item granter. So we don't have a button in this setup. What I wanted was when the player triggers the message, I want the NPC to give the player the item, prompting the delivery. So they're going to be walking into the delivery automatically, and they'll have a choice to make the delivery or not. I also have a map indicator here. We can see the lounge. So for the item granter, this is what we got. Receiving players, of course you want the triggering player to only receive this item. On grant action, clear inventory. You want them to focus specifically on this delivery. Again, that's personal choice. Grant the current item, since we only have one item. Give extra ammo. I'm going to set that to no. There's no need. And grant item when receiving from channel 7. That's basically all you need. Again, you can see how everything else is set to no channel. This is the most important. Press square for OK. So just a quick rundown. When they step right here, they're going to transmit on channel 7. A message is going to display, and they're going to automatically get this awesome llama. All right, and then they're going to be responsible for making the delivery. Now let's check out the settings for when you do make the delivery. Right, so here's my lounge, and you guys might have seen this. This is very familiar from the other tutorial islands. Up here I have my map indicator, and it's really simple. You're just gonna go to basic options, Enabled on game start, yes. And no icon is needed. Any color you want. Make sure you name it, and you can choose any color you want. Press square for OK. It's that simple. And then I have a conditional button, another player reference tool, and another HUD message device. Alright, so this is a pretty cool button because you can do a lot with it, and you're going to see it quite a lot here in this tutorial. So with my conditional button, you will take the item you need delivered and drop it in this device, and you can select that item that's needed for this device be displayed on the screen here. Let's check it out. Alright, so I have selected the color as white. Again, whatever you want. Display main icon is locked. That means the device is locked and will not be unlocked until the item is, of course, dropped in the box. You can select, there's different options here. There's, you know, exploding barrier, there's signal, there's bomb, there's so many different things. There's bolt, so whatever you want to do. I just, you know, keep it simple. How many items are required? So we have one item required. And consume items, yes. You want them to actually go to the device and put the item in the device, and the device takes the item from their inventory, making that delivery successful. Then you have all key items required at once, yes or no. It's truly up to you. If you're working with one item, just place yes. If you're working with more than one item, perhaps you can do no. That way they can try to do it, you know, one at a time, or, you know, it just depends on how your island's set up. And then when activated, transmit on channel 8. And that's about all you need. And then let's get to the HUD message device. I know you guys know where this is going. Put in your message, select your recipient, put in your time, and show when receiving from channel 8. Just that simple. Alright, and then that's all set up, and that's all you need to do to create a delivery game. Alright, so that's just 2 examples of how you can use the player reference device, and there's so much more. I do have 2 more examples I want to show you guys, so let's check them out. Let's go. Alright, so you can use the player reference device to start a mission, which is pretty cool. You can create missions using a trigger, a HUD message device, and a capture device. That's about all you need. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you guys the settings for all these devices. Alright, as stated, so you need a trigger and you need a HUD message device. As you see, I have quite a few here. I'm going to tell you what each one of those do. And then you need a capture area device, which is going to be the area in which the player steps in to complete the mission. Now I'm going to start with the player reference tool first, because there's really not much you need to do as for the settings. As long as the channel is still submitting from the channel that your players are, you know, spawning from and transmitting from, you should be good. So again, you guys can see this is also 140. I just changed the color, and that's about all I did, nothing else. So just press square for OK for that. Now let's set up the trigger. So basic options, we have activating team any, activating class any, trigger sound disabled, visible in game no, when triggered transmit on channel 9. Now channel 9 is going to, of course, going to display a message, and it's going to be this one here. The message reads, I really need a shield bubble, please. And then there's a follow-up message right behind it that says, if you need gold, search the lounge. So let's check this out. When you guys see when I run the test how this is going to display, this is going to display first, and then this is going to display second. They're transmitting on the same channel, so it's pretty neat here. But of course, this is personal. You don't have to do it this way, but I thought it was a pretty neat little effect. So first up, press square, put in your message. Message recipient is the same. Make sure it's just the triggering player. Time from round start off. Show when receiving from channel 9. Press square for OK. Next up is the second message. Again, put in your message. This is the same. And show when receiving from channel 9. Now, check this out. So I have it on a 3-second delay. And of course, you can select your text style here. If you go to all options, you have some choices. I have it set to large, priority normal, place out important, and then this is set to center right. So you have different areas on the screen where the message can display. Top center, center right, and then I believe center left. So I have it top center and center right, and you guys will see that once we run the test. Next up, we have the HUD Message Device that displays the message once you complete the mission. So let's check out these settings here. So let's go to basic options. So you have your message, your recipient of course remains the same. Time from round start is off. Show when receiving from channel 60. And that's about it. Now, why channel 60? That's because this is going to show on channel 60, and I'm going to show you the settings for that right now. Alright, setting up your capture area device. So let's start with basic options. There's a lot going on here. So starting team is all. Of course, you can select whatever team you want, whatever color you want, whatever radius you want. Of course, when you select this, the radius will get bigger or smaller. I have it just the perfect size. Alright, item filter. This is, let's see here. The character will have to be carrying the correct item to capture the area. I'll gain periodic score. I have it set to none because, you know, I just need them to deliver the items here. I don't need anything else than that for this particular mission. So we'll go over that in more tutorials once we look into this a little bit deeper. Let's see, can receive items from alleys. This is something you want to make sure you set to all for, you know, well, at least for this tutorial. But depending upon your island, you want to see what a fit you need. So I had it set to alleys, but let's set it to all. Again, this is going to be also set to all. Alright, item delivery score, same as periodic. Periodic scoring off. Can be captured by team, none, because we're not doing that in this tutorial. Count as objective, you can put on or off if you're going to be doing an objective game for this mission. I have it as off, and you can show the objective in the HUD. Again, we have one of the most important things here is the channel, and we are transmitting this on channel 60. Press square for OK. Now once that's complete and that system's done, then once they deliver the item, a message will display on the screen and the objective will be complete. For this tutorial, in order to get this item, I have a few things going on here. So you'll see what the message displays. And the second message says if you need gold, search the lounge. So for this message, I need my players to get this item. So obviously they have to figure out how to do it. The first clue is to search the lounge, in which they'll go to the lounge and they'll search the lounge for the gold. I don't want to give it away just yet, but I'll give it away when we do the test, and I'll show you guys how to get it. Alright, that's how you start a mission using the player reference tool. Last example is trading. You can use the player reference tool not just as a store, but to perform trades. And you see it a lot in Battle Royale right now. You can trade weapons, you can initiate hunts and that type of thing, bounties, you know. But in this example, I have created a store in which it only does trades for items. And that items could be anything that you want. It can be traded for gold to get an item, it can be an item for an item, and so on. So let's go ahead. We have a lot going on here. So let's see. First, this is the welcome person in the corner here, and this example is very similar to all the other examples you've already seen, so I won't go over that. And then this is what's going on over here. So we got our triggers when they step up, and the message will display. You guys are familiar with that explanation after going through the other three examples. But what's different about this is the conditional button in order to receive items. So let's go ahead and go over that. Alright, so using a conditional button to receive an item, you know, when I was making this island, I tried so many different ways. I was like, I think this is actually a pretty cool way. So I'm going to do a tutorial for this way. So this is what you need. You need a conditional button, of course a trigger, you need a speaker, if you want to, your item granter. Again, everything like this looks all familiar. And you need your HUD message devices. So since you guys already know about that, let's focus first on this device here. Checking out the settings here for the conditional button device. For trades, you want to set your basic options to whatever color you want. Display main icon, I have it on recycle, and then alt display icon default. Key items required 1. So there's 1 item required in order to gain this item. Consume key items, yes. All key items required at once, yes. And when activated, transmit on channel 34. You want to make sure that you drop your item in the button before you get started. Alright, so the trigger settings. We have activating team any, activating class any, sound disabled, visible in game no, when triggered transmit on channel 32, square for OK. Item granter. Receiving players, triggering players, on grant action, keep all, grant all items, give extra ammo, no, grant item when receiving from channel 34. So why did I select grant all items? Because I have 2 items here, and you can see that one of these items is the items needed for the mission. I also have 2 message boxes. Of course, one is a greeting and the other is a thank you, and you guys definitely know how to set that up by looking at the other examples I've already provided, so we won't go over those. Next up is a nice little trick that I did for this booth that you won't see in the other examples. Is there's something different going on with the player reference devices. So when a player walks up to the booth and they want to get this item, they're going to see a representative just pop up right here. And then when they go over here, this representative will disappear. It'll look like they basically warped to this direction to serve them here, and so on. So you'll, like, let's say they go here and then this rep will disappear, and they go here and then that rep will disappear. So that's a really neat effect, and let me show you guys how I did that. Alright, so how did I do that? Alright, so this is how it works. Starting off with this one. This is something you need to do in channels. Alright, so first I have it registering from channel 32. So we're no longer using channel 140, which was the standard for the island. When the player spawned, every player reference tool is transmitting on channel 140. But whenever you want to do this type of thing, and you guys will definitely see it when we run the test, you want to make sure the channel is different than the main channel that all the other player references are spawning on. So I select channel 32, activate from channel 32, enable when receiving from channel 32, disable when receiving from channel 46, when activated, transmit on channel 45. And that's about it. Press square for OK. Next up is this one here. So this is kind of going to be going in reverse. I have also selected a different channel for this player reference tool. Register when receiving from channel 40, activate when receiving from channel 40, enable when receiving from channel 40, disable when receiving from channel 45, and when activated, transmit on channel 46. Press square for OK. Now you're like, what's happening? I still don't get it. Okay. When a player steps on this, they're transmitting on channel 32. When they step on this, they're transmitting on channel 40. Channel 40 only connects to this player reference tool or device, and channel 32 only connects to this player reference tool or device. Now when this device shows itself, okay, when it shows itself, this is what's going to happen. It's going to transmit its own signal to channel 45. So channel 45 is transmitting a signal, and when it does, this tool is going to get that signal and disable itself. And when this tool is activated from channel 40, when someone steps on the trigger, it's going to transmit a signal on channel 46, which is going to disable this tool because it's receiving a message from channel 46. So these two channels are basically communicating with each other. One is telling the other to disable while it's active, and vice versa. And there you go. It's a pretty awesome effect. Let's go ahead and we're going to run that test, and we're going to see how everything works out. Let's do it. Alright, so let's go ahead and run the test. Keep in mind that player references can be set to any size and color. So as you guys approach the island, you're going to see every color, well, as many colors as I can list here, and every size that you can create. You can also track stats and make some very interesting like effects. So let's see here, like you can see the stats over your player's name, and as you move along they can appear just like that. And to the left, we're going to have the store that we went over earlier, so they can also be used to create stores and delivery games. So let's check it out. I'm a little thirsty anyway. Nice. Let's make a delivery. Yay! Yeah, I definitely can do that. Let's do it. Am I going to the lounge? Alright, this is the right place. Yo, thank you. No problem. Alright, again, they can also be used for trading and to create missions. Again, as I've already shown you guys, let's go ahead. Let's do a mission. I really need a shield bubble, please. If you need gold, search the lounge. Alright, let's check it out. We just were in there. Let's see. We didn't see anything. Where could the gold be? Where could it be? Oh, snap. Yo, how much can I get? Oh, how much can I get? 150, 250. Oh my gosh, just keep giving me money. Oh, snap. Oh my gosh. 550? Thank you. So let's go to the store. Let's go to Mighty Deals. Yo, welcome, welcome, welcome. $9.99. Get a snowman and a shield bubble for a med kit. Alright, so I need a shield bubble and I need to get a med kit. Simple, simple. I think I saw one here in the vending machine. And it's only 50 gold. Success! Easy. Alright, mission complete. Alright, nice, nice. Again, and then you guys saw the way it trades and see how it goes and it switches. That's pretty cool. Alright, so if you need a little extra help, don't forget to go to the info center. In the info center, there's a step-by-step guide on how to create your own NPC and player reference device. I take you through the basic steps, plus showing you how to use channels to do exactly everything that you've seen here today. So I do hope it helps. Remember, you can visit this island anytime by entering the code at the top of the screen, so be sure to check it out. In addition to that, don't forget to check out other tutorials from my collections. By just visiting the lobby, you can matchmake right within the game. It'll take you straight to it. Yo, that's gonna do it for this tutorial. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. If you're new to the channel, be sure to drop that like and that sub. It definitely helps out the channel. Plus, if you're already a sub, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Other than that, you guys, be sure to keep it positive and keep it safe. This is your girl Dragon, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. All right, bye.